Good morning, guys. My name is Rudo. I'm a full-time crypto trader and investor. And the question that I'm asking myself today is, will we see a big retrace? And if so, what do I need to do? Okay, and remember, all this and everything that's going to be built is going to be pointing towards your trading, not your investment or your hodling. So we are not going to be looking at that. But what is important is to try to define what kind of trend we are, whether we need to be in a long or prioritize longs over shorts. It's important that we need to take what was said last week and remove it from the screen, okay, and then switch to a weekly time frame just to see how the weekly closed last week so that we can kind of define what it is that we want to be looking at. Okay, so the first thing is when I'm looking at the weekly, the picture is changing slightly. Now, the important thing is when we have candles that's got wicks, as soon as we start closing close to a scenario where the candles close, the bodies close with a lot of wicks around that, that is typically a sign, when they start looking like this, a typical sign that momentum is gone. Okay, it is not a bearish signal, but it just tells you that momentum is gone. So the market is slowing down. So if you're looking for, insane gains and swings within your trades, now is probably not the best time to do that. Okay. Also, what this does is, which is the positive of this, is eventually this will probably end up into a scenario where the candle bodies as well and the wicks start shrinking. Once the volume is low, then you can start setting yourself up for your next big breakaway. So the market's going through the necessary phases. Now, the best example that I can give is maybe if we head over to the daily time frame, just to give you just a visual guidance of momentum being lost, is this scenario over here when Bitcoin went to 74. As you can see, we had big bodies, and then all of a sudden the bodies started getting smaller and we got increasingly bigger wicks. We can dissect that probably on the 4-hour. It will look the same and so forth, which brings me to the original discussion that I had a while ago, is that are we going to consolidate like this, meaning that the market's going to slowly grind up, or will we then end up blowing off like we did this time? Option B, meaning the market is chopping, going to hit an exhaustion level and then correct. Now, this is a tough one because, Peter, you've nailed the head, and that's exactly what I say. It's a psychological barrier. 100K for BTC is a psychological barrier, just like $100 for BTC was way back, and $1,000 was, and $10,000 were, those price points always in the past would have been would have given you psychologically a big resistance. This is Bitcoin battling 10,000. Look at it. It started in May 2020 and it ended up dealing in September 2020. It was still dealing with a $10,000 price bracket. It was a significant, psychological barrier. And the longer we stay at these barriers, where 100K is a potential resistance level, once we break through, it's going to be, the floodgates will open. And but this means that in this time frame, the dominance will potentially start trending down if people lose interest in Bitcoin because it's so expensive, and it will potentially give us some really good alt entries. And that's the other side of things. Okay. Now, to get back to point, what's really important for me is to kind of define how am I going to trade this, because to be honest with you guys, if we look at this, this daily progression of price, it's bloody possible to know exactly how the market's going to move into trade, and with price action swings like that. It's just, so if you've been getting your ass handed to you, it's okay. The reality is it's just gonna be like that. It's always gonna wreck you to a point, and then once the market quiets down, things are gonna move a little bit better. Okay, so in conclusion, let's quickly hit off the weekly time frame. Do I feel like we're bearish? No, the weekly is still bullish. So from a weekly time frame, we need to give this thing an arrow up and say the weekly is bullish. Okay, divergence pivots are there, yes, but we're so far from that. 68,000. It means that from a weekly point of view, we need to be bullish all the way back down there. the sentiment is bullish, but the trading mindset is on the weekly is that we've lost momentum. So that's all. So I'm not necessarily swing bearish, trading bearish. I'm just saying we lost momentum. Now, if we take this to the daily time frame, let's quickly then conclude there. The daily time frame also created pivots. So we have similar pivots like what we had with the weekly time frame. But they are sitting up here. So 91.8, which is why we went there twice already, is a significant support area for BTC. So part of what I was saying, 100K is being resistance, where support. 91,000 is still support and a valid support area for BTC. So consider this whole zone between 91, 92, all the way probably to 89. That would be a really big demand zone for Bitcoin, and will still act in as support. So say the market tends to break trend and flushes us out of the market, it will probably be a good time to look for longs there again. Okay, treat it as it's going to last forever until it fails, and then okay. Now, taking this into a more relevant trading time frame, if we go over to the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see that we're not trending anymore, we're range bound. Okay, meaning we had the upper end of the range, we had the lower end of the range. Price is consolidating above that area, but what do we have? We've got bearish divergence. So the 4-hour is basically going to almost waste your time. It's engineered to just chop around now. Let me just get the right strong bearish divergence. So the 4-hour is still relevant. And like I said last week, this is a buy zone for the 4 hours, irrespective of this crazy wick that we had, this liquidation. You can see that every time price comes back and revisits the 89, 99,000, it is being bought up. Okay, so this whole zone here is still an active demand area. Okay, so we can still say that there is demand in the market. But now the problem with this crazy wick, guys, and this is now where it's going to be a little bit harder for us to navigate this crazy area means that because of that wick, this whole zone could potentially be demand. So now how do you leverage trade with a stop of $10,000 away? You can't. Okay, so let's dissect this a little bit further, and then we'll try and see how we can navigate or plan for the week. Okay, so I'm going to skip the 4-hour and I'm going to head over to the 15-minute with you guys real quick, and then I don't want to look at the RSI just yet. I just want to look at price action. I just want to see where the gaps is within the volatility of the market. Now, this would potentially be a really big, a nice buy if we were bottoming out. But what I would almost do, because of the way that the market is at the moment, everybody's going to want to try and get in there. I'm going to use this area here, that demand zone there, as where the market's going to go, because this was the blow off. Price consolidated, demand was engineered from that point onwards, and I would say that I would use that zone, the 50% rule. I would use that as the argument, meaning that price could still go and revisit about 96,000 and still be okay. Remember, this demand zone technically goes all the way down there. Okay, so price could go there, and what that will do is it will sweep all these latecomers out of the market, all these lows, just flush them, and then go and have another attempt at 107 and so forth. Okay, so trading wise, I would consider that. Now, while we're in a move at the moment, the argument is, what do I do now if I want to take a trade now? Very simple. You head over to your FIB tools. Okay, you go and look for your speed resistance fan, and I'll show you how to set it up. Just 2 clicks. Then you go into the settings and you load the 38.2. Simple as that. You want to hide everything else. This just tells you, once we start trending, price will stay above that white line. Meaning, are we trending at the moment? Let's quickly do the exercise. No, we're not trending at the moment. You can clearly see we're not trending. Are we trending bearish? No, we're not trending bearish either, because if we take highs to lows, we are breaking through that line. So we're consolidating. So it is a choppy market. It's going to be sideways markets. And what you need to be looking for is demand and supply zone tests. So there's a supply zone. Okay. It will go and test those areas. It will test demand and bounce around, which makes it very simple. This is the condition that the market spends the most time in. Okay, so now you know that from the weekly time frame, we've lost momentum, but it's not bearish just yet. The daily time frame, It's not bearish just yet, but it's showing us that there's that potential that the market could go and revisit lower areas. Those lower areas, highest probability one on the 15-minute for today, say 96 for a bad case scenario. And then obviously, because we're chopping around, it means that we could do this in a very painful fashion, meaning the market could go and look like it's going to break out, then dump on your ass, then look like it's going to break out and dump on your ass again, like it's been doing over here. It just sweeps the highs, sweeps the lows, sweeps the highs, sweeps the lows, and it's going to be painful. So your trading style needs to be short term. Okay, get in, make money, get out. Don't try and build swing positions at the moment. Okay. Now, what can you do to make this a little bit easier? You can just use the Buddy Indicator. So the Buddy Indicator has had a new update since last week. Added a few more, finished a few more strategies for you guys. And basically what I did is I set up a chart like this. So the way that this chart looks is, this is strat 1, strat 2, strat 3, strat 4. From the Buddy Indicator. So strat 1, we're trying to pick bottoms. So it gave a nice 4-hour swing. There's no 4-hour trades there on the Buddy. So you're not swinging, and there's no bottom top signal at the moment. Okay. Strat 2, which is the most commonly used strategy out there, is when we're consolidating. So if we head over to a 15-minute time frame, what you should be seeing is a lot of strat 2s popping up, because the market is trying to find support resistance areas. Now, those trades will be aggressive and they will make you money. But like you can see in all these cases, they'll go to TP1 maybe and then stop, TP1 maybe and stop. So you have to have a short time frame mentality on your trading. Get in, make the money, stop trying to wait for the swing to that area, because the reality is that this is the kind of market condition we're finding ourselves in. Okay. Now, strat 3 will probably be the one you see the least, because strat 3 will be a scenario where once we break out, create breakout volume, that is when we want to see a continuation. So see, there was breakout volume. We never even retraced back to the entry area between the two purple lines. It just kept on going, and then it dumped on you. So strat 3 is a really good signal when there's a good, healthy trend establishing. So if we were to establish a bearish trend, okay, remember this is 1 hour time frame, and we're trying to see that Bitcoin goes from 100 to 96. Your strat 3, which is already in there, means that it still needs to get triggered. Potentially price will, on the short term now, push back up to 100K, turn this into a resistive level, and then go and try and hunt for the liquidity, because there is liquidity left behind you. Okay, so the strat 3 then will work for that. Wait for that to happen. Wait for the strat 3s to start giving you a nice clean trend, which on the 30-minute or on the 15-minute, it's not quite there yet. So it's telling you, look, the candle bodies are red, orange, blue, light blue. It's a mix. It's confused. So there's no trend. Strat 3 tells you a healthy trend. And then lastly, the strat 4 on the Buddy will then obviously get you in on a trend. So once the trend is established, Buddy 4 starts kicking in and says, okay, right, every time we have a good, strong trend, let's go to a scenario where we had a good, strong trend. You'll have these HO4s kick in and keep on adding onto the trend. And once the trend is moving up, you see there we started a little bit of a bearish trend, SO4, SO4, SO4s. But they didn't, in some instances, they didn't even hit their TPs, which is frustrating. It tells you that the SO4s will probably not do well because we're in a sideways market. So if you want to use the Buddy Indicator today, the best kind of trade you need to be looking for is the SO2s. You want to see the sideways choppy ones. Okay. You want to see this market chop itself up and down until we start trending. Then your SO4s will be your best friend. Okay. So that's it. And how do you get it? Well, simple. You can just open a Prime account. Once you have a Prime account with my link, you head over to the Discord, into the navigation section, and then you can say, use PrimeXBT to get my Buddy Indicator. Okay, so you open the account with the link, you deposit your trading capital, and then you claim your access by going, open a ticket there and sending me your TradingView username. I'll verify if all is done and all is good. I'll hook you up with the Buddy Indicator. Now, a question that I do get a lot from a lot of people is, can I use the Buddy Indicator if I'm on a free TradingView plan? Yes, you can. You might not see invite only now on your TradingView, but as soon as I grant you access, that button will appear and the indicator will be there. So you don't need a paid indicator, trading view to use the Buddy indicator. It's as simple as that. Okay, so now we have a really good idea of Bitcoin. We have a good idea of the kind of trades we need to be looking at. Let's go, and I just want to say hi. I mean, Peter's been bringing up comments. Let me quickly go through the comments and see what we've got. Hello, Ace SM. Give us an update on Uni. Ace, that will be in this afternoon's HODL report, where we're going to be looking at these kind of coins. Last week I said Cardano is a sell, and you can clearly see we're still chopping around this area. Cardano will be a buy back at $1, so those will be important ones. We also, I think I did do a chart for you guys on Uni last week. No, I didn't do a chart for you on Uni. So this afternoon we can definitely look at the Uni chart, see where we're at with that. At this moment, I wouldn't necessarily want to sell Uni, to be honest with you. Between me and you, just as a quick idea, it's not giving me any bearish signals just yet. Let's see what else. Hello, Andrea. Nice to have you here. Stanku, Bybit. Bybit link on Discord cannot be used. Sometimes these links do play havoc. I don't know why. I don't have control, but the link is there and it's working. So if ever you find a situation where you want to support the channel, the link isn't working, you know, you can always just do the following and open a ticket and just chat to me one-on-one. The Discord is a private place, so meaning there's no public chat channels. So if you want to talk to me, to make sure that you do talk to me and not some sort of a scammer, you click on that little support button there, and that will open a chat directly with me, one-on-one with you and me, where we can talk. So it will create a unique chat channel there, and then you can ask me the questions, whatever you need, and we can chat there. At least then you know that you're not talking to a scammer. The sad reality is last week there was a guy that got taken again by somebody that looked like me. And it's I don't have the ticket open, and it's frustrating when it happens to these guys. I mean, that's why I love Discord, but I hate Discord for that same reason. And you know, the frustration with all these things. So guys, please be vigilant. There's no special deals. There's no backhand deals that I have. If I'm not saying this on YouTube, it doesn't exist. It's simple as that. Okay. Yeah, just be careful. You know, the bull market's heating up. Guys are going to be coming at you left, right, and center. They spend the same amount of time that you want to trade to look for reasons to get you. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Can the weekly be bullish but still eventually collapse to a big retrace? Now, SM, you've got a really good point there. And the thing about, I'm going to go back to this chart real quick. If we go and have a look at previous bull markets, and let me load a Binance or yeah, we can use a Binance chart. There's always that saying where the guys are saying, well, the market will give you these 30% retraces, and that's healthy within the bull market. So the argument is that, you know, from there to there, we went back 17%. From there to there, we went back 30%. You know, from there to there, we went back 24%. So these retraces will happen. But the key here is a big retrace is not necessarily a bad thing and can be expected, but the market will always keep the trend. So when we establish a bullish trend, okay, take it from the bottom to the low, we stay above this line as I keep on pulling my mouse onto each of these highs. You can see there where the line is. You stay above it until you break it, okay? That is typically the way that you're going to measure to see, well, big retrace, is it still okay, or are we still bullish, you know? And that's the important thing. So it's fine if the market collapses and we do have these retraces. This is what needs to stay there. So if we go to where we are now and we do the exact same thing again, take it from the bottom, I keep on dragging this and say, okay, right, if we stay above these levels, we are okay. You can see the market is working in a different way. It has a way that now, if everybody is wise to a specific way of trading, it's going to do what? It's going to create shakeouts. So let's put this line down. It's going to consolidate, create shakeouts, and eventually reclaim the line. And it's at this area where people then say, okay, well, because we broke the line, we're bearish. Now we need to go down there. And that's the big trick that I think that a lot of people get screwed up. Just because we break a trend, guys, doesn't necessarily mean that the trend's going to stay broken forever. We can break a trend, consolidate slightly above it, and reclaim it. So I always say I'll rather take profit. So say this was a hard part to navigate. I made mistakes. We all do. Okay. You know, and I'm not calling it mistakes. Analysis failed. okay? But we took profit there. Can you see that when the market came right back and reclaimed that area, you almost could say, well, I lost the opportunity to farm for more BTC if you didn't buy any of these lows that I shared. But then it gave you another chance to just get in, and then it ran. So that's the thing about the market. So in that eventuality that you're talking about, these big retraces, there will always be a chance for you to get in and also to get out. So a big dip, I mean, when you have a big sell-off, the market will bounce and go back and then go down. So you'll have those second opportunities. So please don't act too hastily just because the momentum is gone, because we tend to get excited. Oh, no, I need to wait for the market to do this, you know. Let's do this. Say this is now our current trend. We've established trend. Okay, so there's the high. This thing can go all the way down, like I say, and it's still bullish. We've not broken any trends just yet. Okay, so big retrace. Yes, there's chances for that, but where we are now, we saw so far that big retrace will be valid, because if we go all the way back down there, let's measure the percentages. Oh, come on, thank you. Measure the percentages. It's 16%. It's not anywhere close to that. Now, the last little thing that guys will do is we can zoom out again, and you can use the Trendscope Indicator. Links in the video description, completely free. Okay, you can look at this from a short-term momentum point of view. Okay, so you load the indicator, click there, and then you say short-term momentum. Okay, I've added an RSI, but you can look at it like this. Now, typically what will happen is any good trend, when it's moving, you'll have your short-term trend, your support, above momentum, and your momentum will be pointing in the same direction as your trend. And price will go and play around with these lines. It will go and test them for same reason. So it's we tend to say this, but you know, the way we talk actually is the wrong way around. It's just statistically the highest probable bounce point at that stage, okay? But you don't know when and how, so you can't really act on this from a trading point of view. But that's what you would typically see, okay? So if we then take that information to an area where the market is not trending, these lines are all over the show, as you can see, okay? And that confusion means that the market's unsure, so the momentum isn't there. That's all that means. So where we are now, you can see we had a scenario where the price goes and trends, and then it's just confusion, okay? We're in a situation where this thing can sell off there, and the quicker it is, the better, because the less time we'll have for these lines to start getting confused, okay? So quick moves would be good. So when you see a big shakeout, understand, yeah, 85 at this stage, 92 as per the short-term momentum, what guys be thinking. I can take this over to the long-term point of view, which has got a different picture. And you can see that the long term has only now recently started looking the same. And when you look at the previous bull market, your long term also was in harmony with your short term. So because the long term is only switching over now, we're potentially there, which means, you know, it brings me to this original tweet that I did a few weeks ago. I said, where we are now, are we going to do something like this or something like this? And it looks more and more now that we're going to be doing something like this. Just chop around in this area, because the higher time frame momentum is still telling us it's still okay. Okay. So there you have another way to look at these big time retraces. Okay. And yeah, and this is all free, guys. You could go and download the thing and load it up, and it will hook you up. Okay. That's it. So let's see what else we have. Chainlink, TP levels, Filecoin, all those will be done this afternoon. And that's everything, guys. So thanks so much. About 400 people joining in live. You can definitely see the excitement's back in the market, because my live viewership is growing, whereas it was normally way lower. And that's your telltale sign that there's still interest. So if you want to be bearish, wait until that viewer number that I'm telling you there. That's our own little small emotional, market analysis. And once that's low, then you know, hey, people have lost interest in what I'm saying. Again, because they're not believing that it will go higher, and then you know things are shifting, and we might turn into a longer bearish point, because people don't want to stay around for the bad times. They want to be here for the good times. Okay, that's it. So I think that's everything. It's a little bit longer video than normal. Thanks so much for taking the time joining me, guys. I'm going to be in the Discord now. We're going to now start with market tactics, where I'll be dissecting, the legacy markets, what I'm going to be trading in next. You can see the Buddy's been killing it on the NASDAQ, and a few more. Then we're going to also be looking at the additional altcoins, Ethereum, Shipboard, Cardano, Filecoin, all the areas and the buys that I want to be looking for, and then as well as the smaller ones, Sand, Curve, and those kind of things. So for those in the Discord head over there, you've got the link. For the rest of you guys, I'll see you this afternoon, where we're going to be taking this hodl report a little bit further, or these hodl bags a little bit further. Cheers, guys.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.